heart attack. Fast, fatal, hard impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now. Whenever we last left off with this series, quite a lot has happened. In the last part, Deku and many other of his allies, they moved to another location off of an island and moved somewhere in the Earth Kingdom. Now, Deku has been with the people calling themselves the Children of Fire or the Children of Ozai for some time, about 3 months. And it has been just revealed to Deku and his allies so far that right now, the Children of Fire is an organization named They Go Under. It's more of a public front. However, their real organization name is hidden in deeper levels. And even then, that might not be the real name of the organization. There's no telling how far exactly deep this does go. And right now with exactly how much has been shown to them, it's a pretty weird conspiracy. Now, Deku, he was revealed to be the Avatar by the people who are in charge. They know he's the Avatar, but they're allowing him to keep it a secret from everybody else. And Deku, currently, he is learning more about waterbending. In the last 2 months, he's tried to use the elements. However, it is still very difficult for him. He has made progress, and after coming to this new location, he actually asked a waterbender. One he found to be very interesting. Now, with that being said, Deku, he is currently sitting in his room, and it is the morning after their first night. Deku woke up a little bit earlier, and right now, he does some physical training. And after doing some of that in his room, he does going to sit down and meditate. Him somewhat just going to lean forwards and bring his hands up, as he does have that container of water half empty in his room. Now, Deku, he is currently trying to think, as he actually is going to go into the Avatar state, and then going to somewhat try and focus. As whenever he does get open his eyes, he does see Karak, or Karak? I believe that's the waterbending avatar, the one who wears the pelt on his head. Deku sees that man. And right now, Deku, he does go try and ask the man for some advice. The man is a born waterbender. That was his born element. So, perhaps he can try and ask questions to him. Now, Deku, while he actually is in meditation, he is trying to focus, asking this man for advice. And the man, he does try to give Deku what he can. However, Deku, he would try to explain. Water is an element that's eluded him all his life, and for the last 2 months, he's found it to be very difficult. It is strange. From what he understands, well, he can do lightning bending, an advanced form of fire bending. He can do metal bending, an advanced form of earth bending. And, well, for air bending, there's not really very much he can learn there. I mean, sure, there's got to be something down the line, but maybe it's being hidden. Maybe he just wasn't taught an advanced form of it. I mean, applying air bending in real-world combat, it could be very dangerous. I mean, there are stories about what it's been used for before in the past. And the man, he does go to bring up a hand, as he'll go to stop Deku. Yes, sorry. It is quite alright, young Izuku. I do understand you are very ambitious for this element. Yes, I do apologize. It is just, waterbending is something that I've tried before in the past. I've spent a significant portion of my life trying to learn it. I've gone through the classes. However, whenever I couldn't bend the element, I just skipped it. I went over to the other ones. I went. I skipped it and went to Earth. There is no shame in that, Avatar. There isn't? But I was supposed to learn them in order. Didn't I do it wrong? No, young Avatar, no. It is quite perplexing that you believe this. Why is that? I've been taught by the White Lotus my whole life. They've told me the ways the elements go in, the order they go in. And it's just, I don't know anything else. But now that I'm free of their influence, free of their breathing down my neck, I can finally do it. There's also the way things have been going so far recently for me. I've been on my own and I feel free. I just, there's so many things going through my head. Young Avatar, may I ask you a question? Yes. Have you heard the tales of Avatar Aang? Um, yes, I believe so. There are many things that have been lost from those times, however. Many, well, young Avatar, please, calm down. Calm your mind. You have been taught by air nomads, have you not? I have, but it's just, I was taught by earthbenders after that. And I'm a born firebender. I'm supposed to be naturally. Sorry. Okay. Please continue. Oh. Avatar Aang's journey. You have spoken to him for quite some time, have you not? Yes, I have. Good. He had a very short time for him to master all four elements. While he may have continued to learn many things about the others in his journey, he learned much. You are more, shall I put it, experienced with the elements than he might have been whenever he was young, younger than you, whenever he stopped Ozai. However, there is always time to learn more. The avatar after him, Avatar Korra, her upbringing wasn't exactly normal. Did you understand that? She didn't have a very good understanding of air, what was her past life's element. Avatar Korra didn't know how to airbend? Yes, actually. I believe that she would have been around your age as well, maybe just a little bit older, before she discovered how. Is that true? Yes, Avatar. Now please, understand. What you are doing is good. You are making progress. However, I would recommend getting a waterbending teacher, especially if you are doing this solo. I believe that you have people you can trust, correct? Um, Now, take a good think. The image of the waterbender he met last night flashing in his head, and the avatar does get a smile, informing him that he does take an interest in her, does he not? I mean, she's she's cute, and I'm curious to learn. I mean, she's also nice. Yes, that is true. However, young Avatar, if you seek her out as a teacher, you may not be able to seek her out as a friend. Are you sure? Yes. However, if you seek her out as a friend, she may be a better teacher. Okay, I'm sorry, but I really can't deal with cryptic messages from my past lives right now. So, could you just not? Hmm. Well, young Avatar, if that is how you wish to proceed, then I believe that it would be best if you were to decide your own journey. You rely too much on us. You rely so much on being, well, you. But who are you really? Um, I'm, I'm, you're hesitating. Now, the man will go to stand up. Him going to turn around and tell him that he is Izuku Midoriya. While he is the Avatar, he needs to remember that title, that, well, piece of information, he needs to remember isn't all it is cracked up to be. Sometimes being Izuku Midoriya might be better than being, well, you know. Now, the man will go to disappear, and Deku, he actually is a bit annoyed. Whenever he does so, Deku is left with very many questions, wondering if one day he might be that cryptic to the next Avatar. Now, with that, Deku, he does gotta stand up. Him going to head out, shower, and then head to breakfast, as Deku is talking with many other people. And right now, Deku would go to sit down next to Luna, as on Luna's right, there actually is the firebender Deku met whenever he first came here. And what is the man's name? It's Lee. Anyways, now, whenever that does actually happen, Deku, he does go to look up. Him seeing the waterbender who is sitting there. As whenever he does at least go to see her, she does go to somewhat smile. And Deku would do so as well, as they do eat their breakfast and then get ready for training. Now, Deku, he actually is very happy. As for right now, their actions with the firebenders, they are going to be going up against earthbenders. And they are supposed to be showing off their own powers. Now, right now this is how things are going. This is going to be breaking the ice. Well, kind of ironic, since that's a waterbending term. However, they want to show off what natural combatants of the elements can do against each other. So, for right now, there is Izuku, who he is on a team with Lee, and let's say Luna. And then there actually is another team of Earthbenders, a 3v3. And right now, Deku, he is in charge of coordinating these two. As their actions with Luna, she's going to talk to Deku about exactly what their strategy might be. And Lee, he himself is quite curious. He's going to be fighting with these two for the first time. And from what he does understand, these two do have a very good coordination. So, he is going to need to just follow their rhythm. And Deku would try to explain. Luna, she has the hottest flames, so she'll be working on breaking the strongest defense. Deku will work on the weakest. And Lee, if he does see the Earthbender who may be on par with him, go against them. Luna can melt through the defenses of the strongest Earthbender. He can take out the weakest Earthbender, and they can gang up together to overpower the Earthbender who is on Lee's level. And while Luna is distracting the strongest Earthbender, they can go 3v1 against him. Now, the fight would proceed, and everybody they would watch the strategy. The moment Deku, he does here begin, he does going to start rushing across the arena. Him going straight forwards with both Luna and Lee. And the three Earthbenders, they do go to see that. As right now there is over one Earthbender, they do directly go to start kicking down the ground and going to bring up Earth. As Deku does go to see the largest wall, he does go directly bring up his hands. He does immediately go to shoot outwards lightning. And the moment it does go to fly through the air and crack into the Earth wall, the Earthbender behind it, who is about to come flying upwards and over, they are flown backwards and struck. As there actually is both Earthbenders who do come charging forwards in rock armor. Now, when that does actually happen, Deku does point out, Luna on them, Lee with him. Deku actually going to somewhat move backwards. As then when he does start throwing flames out of his feet, Lee does go to watch on. As Deku, he actually is trying to coordinate with his flames. They're able to boost him backwards and upwards into the air. Him avoiding a rock, jumping out of the ground almost hitting him in his back. As Lee, he does go to try and mimic Deku. Whenever he does go to directly fly himself backwards, he does almost overcorrect himself. Him actually going to have to throw his body backwards and directly strike towards the ground. As whenever he does so, his hand does meet with a rock that was coming up. Him pushing down on it and then pushing upwards and gets sent flying up higher into the air. him going to throw back his flames before he's going to try and fly himself forwards. And Deku, he himself is ready. As one of the earthbenders are charging towards them, Deku is going to land onto the ground. Him going to actually go to send out a spin kick and send flames jolting that way in a large wave. The earthbender going to bring up their arms to deflect or at least cover their eyes and go flying through the flames. The heat hitting them for a minute before Deku, he actually is there. And the moment the earthbender does go to bring down their arms, they do go to try and look around. Them actually having to convert the armor, or at least pieces of it, into sand, and letting it fall to the ground so they can actually start having more maneuverability. And the moment they do that, there is actually Deku, who he does come charging in. As he does come from the side and directly come flying in. Now, Deku does go to send out a strike, him blasting out fire, as the earthbender, they do go to try and turn their body. Them actually going to have to bring up their arms and another wall, going to deflect it. As the flames do go to pour around them, Deku, he does go to actually slide in, him sliding onto the ground, and then actually going to send out a left hook flame. Now, the person they're quite surprised, as Deku, he does actually send this one out a bit stronger. And this time, the weakest earthbender, they get struck with a large amount of flames. As whenever they get sent flying forwards, and they do go to try and defend themselves with more earth, there is actually Deku, who, as soon as the earthbender do go to throw up their walls, he does go to bring up his other hand. Him using an open palm and going to directly hold his hand out forwards, and he's going to repeatedly blast flames to his left hand. Now, Deku does start to watch, as the earthbender, they do go to try and slide underground. And the moment they do this, Deku, he immediately does go to break through their defense. Whenever they are not there, Deku is going to bring him his hands, him going to get on guard, as he is going to start looking around. Now, while that is happening, we do actually have Lee. Lee currently, he is facing off against the second strongest earthbender in the group. And right now, he actually is trying to stay on the defensive side. Right now, he's trying to get them to play offensively. Let them attack him, and all he has to do is just play defensively. All he's really trying to do is stall. Let them tucker themselves out, and then go for an attack, once there is more people to help him. His strategy is that, while both the two could fight repeatedly, eventually he'd be too tired. Or, the other earthbender could find a way to take advantage of one of his weak points. Now, while he does send out blasts occasionally to fight back, there actually is where it's just a game of, hey, look at me, look at me. While the other two, they are trying to actually carry the battle. And we do actually have Luna, who right now, she actually is sending out large gusts of flames, and blasting them out over and over. As do actually have the strongest earthbender, who right now, they are actually having a very difficult time. They are currently trying to defend. And the moment they do go to bring up their wall, there actually is Luna who is going to send a large flame. It flying through the air and smashing into the wall, as she does go to send out another large flame burst with her other hand. And this time, the large fireball does get sent flying through the air and smashing into the wall. The wall caving forwards as the person, they are actually sent backwards and on the defensive. Them going to roll themselves backwards and into the ground, as it does go to fall in the sand. Now, the person does disappear underground, and right now there actually is Luna, who, she is a bit more on the defensive side. Her bring up her hands and getting ready. As the moment she does actually start to feel the ground underneath her shift, she does directly kick downwards and send herself flying upwards into the air with fire. As the earthbender, the area underneath Luna does turn into glass. And right now, that is not something they expected. And we do actually cut over to Deku, who, when the earthbender, they were underground and trying to find a way to take him out, they went to go turn the ground underneath them completely into sand. Deku immediately falling down onto it, as it is going to tighten directly around his right leg. and Deku is stuck up to his kneecap. Now, Deku, he actually is stuck with his right leg, and his left leg is stuck upwards towards some part in his leg. Now, Deku, he is actually trying to get out, and the moment the Earthbender they do go to surface, they do go to look directly at Deku. As they do just somewhat stare at him, somewhat surprised. They actually got him. Now, the Earthbender, they do think, if they just charge in right now, they can pin him down and get him to admit defeat. So, they've got this. And there is actually Deku. Deku, he is somewhat intrigued. Okay, so their trap worked. Good. He's still got this though. Deku getting ready. Him somewhat casually shifting his leg and foot a little bit. Him earthbending a bit to break free. Now, the moment Deku is going to shift his leg, there is actually the earthbender in front of him. Who, they are still staring at Deku, but they are paying a bit more attention. As Deku, he does this directly turn to his leg and try and pull it out. The moment Deku's leg does actually go to somewhat shift and pull, Deku, he does go to bring back his hand. And the earthbender does watch. Deku does start to charge up lightning. Him going to directly shoot it downwards at the ground. Now, the moment Deku does go to directly smash the earth underneath him, he actually feels somewhat break free. And the earthbender, they do decide to try and charge him, before he can send out another attack to set himself free. And Deku, yeah. Right now he is just staring. As whenever he does go to bring back his hand to try and attack the ground again, he actually decides to avert it. Him, at the last minute, going to throw his right hand upwards and directly at the earthbender. Them staring up at Deku, as Deku, he does directly smash a lightning bolt at them. Them being struck center mass in the chest, as their earth, or the rock covering their chest, is destroyed. Them being sent flying backwards and through the air. Now, Deku, he didn't use enough voltage to make that lethal. However, that is definitely going to sting. And the moment Deku is going to see them hit the ground, he does directly look down and going to smash his legs with as much fire as he can. Him hitting up the ground as he's going to grab his leg and going to pull it outwards. Now, everyone would watch that. Deku going to somewhat grab his left leg and going to shift it to the left before going to pull upwards as hard as he can. Now, he was going to run over and check. As whenever he does going to bend down, there is actually where the waterbender, he does know, comes running over. Deku going to check the vitals, as whenever the waterbender is going to look up at him, he doesn't going to tell him that they're still breathing, and that they should be okay. I can't believe you just shot him with lightning. Koya, it's going to be alright. You hit him with a lightning rod. Koya, Firebender's lightning isn't like actual lightning. Okay, how is that? Well, first of all, I'm not as experienced with it. Second off, that was a weak blast. What? I'd say it's gotta be as strong as a taser. I mean, a really fucking powerful taser, that's for sure. But it's not lethal. Besides, I aimed for the rock on his chest. Now, Koya would actually go to look down. Her actually going to pull up the Earthbender's shirt to see that while there is somewhat of a heat mark, there is no damage, or at least lightning burns. And she just goes to take a breath in and talk about how he's pretty crazy, isn't he? Comes with the territory. Now, I gotta get back to this match. Okay, don't fry anyone. No promises. I can try though. Now, Deku will go to stand back up, as he does shout to Lee and Luna that there is an Earthbender down. And the moment the two other Earthbenders do hear about that, Deku will go to help Lee. Them teaming up and taking down the Earthbender, who was the second strongest. And then with the combined might of the three Firebenders against the Earthbender, yeah, that doesn't go too well. Especially because Deku, he does know earthbending styles. And if they do try to counter him or hit him or take him out because of his lightning bending, there is the fact that Deku, he'd be able to counter them. And there is actually where the earthbender, he is able to take down Lee in the ensuing chaos. Now, when that does actually happen, there is whenever it's just Deku, Luna, and this Earthbender. And right now the Earthbender, they actually are showing off a bit more of their natural talents. While they do try to handle Luna, they are directly dodging and making sure that Deku, he can attack them. They bring up thick walls, and they make sure that they can change around the arena anytime they can, or they do need to. Them turn the ground partially into sand in locations to set traps. And then what that does actually happen is where Luna, she is caught in one. And Luna, whenever this does actually happen, there is where she is going to try and bring up her hands. As the Earthbender, they do go to bring up their own hands, and they're going to grab towards Luna's. Them being caught in Earth, as Luna's hands and wrists are pulled directly down and by her side, as she actually is swallowed up partially by the sand. Now, the way Luna's hands are placed, they're directly touching her body. If she were to try and firebend, she would hurt herself. And Deku, him and this Earthbender are both remaining. As Deku, he is standing there. And the Earthbender, they do go to somewhat compliment Deku, talking about how he does seem to be very skilled. You're not bad yourself. However, I'm actually curious. Do you know metal bending? Metal bending. Yeah, I do. Why? Just curious. You've already seen my lightning, so you already know that that's a bad option, right? I was aware of that. Now, the person they do is going to bring up their hand and grab towards their waist. Then I'm going to toss a metal pouch, which Deku does assume to have had rods of metal inside. If he would have just shot a lightning bolt right now, he could have gotten the guy. That's not too fun, though. Okay, so let's do this. Now, Deku and the Earthbender, they would go to attack each other. However, there are a few factors which do play a part in this battle. Deku would help free Luna after distracting the Earthbender, and using a wall of flames and using a earthbending technique to bring them up high. Now, the Earthbender, they are actually somewhat caught off guard. As whenever Deku he would go to get close, he does go to kick down into the earth and set one of Luna's hands free. Her bring her hand up, and Deku going to blast downwards into her right. As whenever she is going to get free, Deku and her are able to take down this Earthbender. Now, with that being said, there is actually Lee, who, while he did get trapped, he actually was a very good part of this. Now, after that is said and done, there are actually a few other matches. And Deku, he does watch as, well, Koya, she does fight. It's very interesting. She has access to Water Tribe healing techniques. I mean, he's seen them before, but watching them in practice, and then watching actual waterbenders fight, it's so, well, it's almost goofy. There's literally a waterbender using a technique that's like a kraken. I mean, it's hilarious, but it's also interesting. They're fighting off against some other aeronomats. Okay, let's see where this does go. The matches, they would go how they would. There are waterbenders against airbenders. And I want to say airbenders would win. Because, well, waterbenders, they'd have a harder time using their bending. Especially if airbenders just blow away the water. Well, they could try to collect it back. It's not an infinite resource. And eventually they'd be chipped away at, especially if they try and have an endurance match. Now, with that being said, the airbenders, they would come out on top. And Deku, him and everybody else, they do see this. And right now there are actions where some people, they do get a little bit of downtime. And everybody else, they do need to get ready. Right now there is a mission that is coming up. And Deku, him and many other people, while they may not be involved, some other people will be. And right now, Deku, he wants to clear a bit of his head. He knows that nearby he's heard about a lake. So maybe he can go there, get a little bit of private time, get away from people. What is it? Not too far away, there's supposed to be a beach too, so maybe he can head there. Okay, if he heads somewhere far enough away, people won't know he's a firebender. He could practice water bending. Okay, but that's still risky. Okay. Private lessons from maybe someone in charge here. That could be what he does need. Okay, so he'll go on a walk and check this place out. And later, he might be able to find somebody who could help him. Yeah, okay, that's the plan for right now. That'd be what Deku does do. And as Deku, he does get to leave. The reactions were some people, did you get to notice that? Deku, he's going out for a walk? I mean, okay, sure. But what's up with that? I mean, is he good? He's a strange guy, so he'll be okay. Now, there actually is where Deku, while he is walking in the forest, he does should take a minute to appreciate nature. It's, well, strange. The place they're at, it's heavily wooded, and most people they wouldn't realize that this place is here. So, let's see. I wonder what's down at the lake though. How big is it? Well, let's go find out. That'd be what Deckers think. And right now, some people, they're actually getting a bit more concerned. There are some strange wildlife around here. And while they are somewhat good, there is a wildlife that they're a bit more dangerous. And some people, they do get a little bit more concerned. Now then, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.